All right, rainy day at Ohio Stadium, but the Buckeyes won anyway, and they won big. Let's hear your thoughts.
I'm Chet.
Chet, and are you a student here?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
All right, so the Buckeyes, big win today, covered the spread. Wisconsin, rough loss last week, but your thoughts on the game?
It started off real slow. But defense picked it up. We have the best defense in the country. Great to see the guys out there flying around. Second half, offense showed up. It was real nice, real good.
So I had a guy, I think it was after the Michigan State game, he told me that we should have 3 Heisman finalists: Chase Young, Justin Fields, and J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
3 is. Could you see a 4th maybe?
Yeah, Chris Olave. He was unreal today. Yeah, add him. I'll send him to the New York too, I think. And Joe Burrow, also Ohio State guy. He'll be in New York, but add Chris Olave to the list because he is balling out.
Yeah. So bye week next week. I think it's Maryland after that.
Yeah.
That should be a pretty easy game, but the schedule will be a little harder after that. How do you see the end of the season kind of going?
I'm worried about the Maryland game. Can't overlook it. It'll be home, but again, it'll be close, I think. Penn State coming here. It'll be hopefully a night game. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm pumped. But this team feels different, and this feels like a good year. I'm excited.
The boy Urban Meyer was back today. First time we saw him. What do you have to say to your boy Urban here?
Love Urban. Lifetime Buckeye. Always be thankful for everything he did for us. I.O., man. Always thankful for everything he did for us. And I don't know. It's just great to see him back here in the shoe. Working with Fox. He's doing well. So, yeah, it's good.
Mary.
Maryland.
Lynette.
All right, so Wisconsin came in ranked. It was supposed to be a tough matchup, but a big win for Ohio State. What were your thoughts?
Well, at halftime, I was thinking at least we're ahead 10 to nothing. But then when they blocked that punt and it got 10-7, I thought, oh, this could get close. But we drove right down and scored, and then I thought, okay, we got this.
Yep.
Or
No, she's the talker.
Hell of a game. Okay, so Justin Fields comes down for the win every single time. 2 carries, and it's a second half football game, folks. It's a second half football game, and it was for the win. And this is what I'm talking about. On location, Marty Duzel, and I'm sorry, what's your name?
I'm David.
Thanks, David. This is where you want to be. This is right where you want to be. A win is a win. That's the way I look at it in my book. Okay, thanks, folks. Hey, have a good one.
Go Bucks. All right, what's your name?
Joe.
Joe, Ohio State had to face, Wisconsin. Pretty tough, ranked, coming in. Thoughts on the game?
Yeah, my thoughts. The defense, right? That was the one thing I was concerned about. But coming out early, scoring a touchdown, putting up 38 points on them, I thought that was a really good deal.
Yeah. So Fields had a tough time throwing, kind of. It was a wet day. It seemed like difficult to go downfield, but the running game really picked it up. Thoughts on that?
J.K. Dobbins, man, he's all over it. Our offensive line this year is solid, right? We've had that. Some of the questions we've had in the past has been our offensive line. This year, I mean, you knew with a rainy day like today, it was going to be tough to throw the ball. But running the ball, offensive line opened some holes. J.K. Dobbins did the job. Master Teague came in, he did the job as well. But to score 38 on this defense was really impressive.
Yeah, so off week now. They've earned it, I think. Maryland after that, but some tougher games down the stretch. Your thoughts on the rest of the season?
The rest of look, over the past couple of years, you could have looked at our ranked teams and said, man, there was this or that was an issue. This year, I can't find a hole, man. I mean, we're solid offensive line, defensively, linebackers, quarterback, wide receivers. Man, we're good to go. I think we're great. I think it's going to be a great year.
All right, he's back. The man, Travis. Thoughts on Wisconsin?
Off Wisconsin. That program is horrible, and I'll tell you why. For the last 50 years, all Wisconsin's ever done is run the football. You want to know why they don't have quarterbacks at Wisconsin? Because they never throw the ball. It rained. They tried playing us in a phone booth, and we beat them at their own game. Then they tried throwing the ball because guess what? We avalanched you again in the second half with points. We're too big, we're too fast, we're too strong. J.K. Dobbins was really the hero on offense, catching balls out of the backfield, finishing runs, stiff arm. I mean, Justin did okay. We had some protections like breakdown early. Wisconsin got 5 sacks. There's things we have to improve on. Didn't turn the ball over. Chase Young he's a Heisman candidate. You can't block him one-on-one. Nobody in the Big Ten has been able to do it. This was supposed to be the best opponent that the Big Ten had to offer. They got caught looking ahead, lost to Champaign. Lost us. Wisconsin, you're overrated. You have been for the last, 10 seasons. You play in a really weak West Division. Granted, I know you can't help geography, but you're telling me that beating Iowa and Minnesota every year makes it feel good? You maybe win 10 games, but can't win the Big Ten. You can't beat me. And you want to talk about how great you are. I'm tired of it. It's that Cephas kid who caught that pass and running his mouth. Sorry, Damon Arnett. And then what does your quarterback do? He got broke back mountain because he fumbled the ball and Warner scooped it up and ran with it. I'm not impressed with you. If I got to play you again on a dry field, indoors, I'm telling you, you better be like ready to play better than that because your offense is uncreative. You have a great defense. They do. I mean, they gave up 8 points a game average, and Ohio State ran you over rush shot for 38. You played a great first quarter. You played a tough second quarter, but Ohio State has too much depth, talent, and speed. I'm sorry, Wisconsin. You got to get a better creative offensive game plan than what you do.
Man, that covered a lot of it. But I guess I'll go with Dobbins. You know, really saving the day there. Fields was rough in the rain. You know, it's rough. But thoughts on JK?
JK catching the ball, needed it on the wheel routes, ran the ball downhill, finished runs, stiff arming guys. He wasn't going down at contact. The first guy. Like, he should be the Heisman candidate. Because without him, our offense doesn't really get going. Like, I love Justin. He's got some developing to do, but J.K. Dobbins is the back right now. And then when you take him out to spell him, you got Master T, who's a bigger guy. Good luck taking him down one guy. Like, our offense right now, it kind of reminds you of that New England Patriots offense. They can do whatever they want. 11 personnel, 3-by-1, 4 wide receivers, under center with 2 tight ends. We can do whatever. Right now we can. We haven't really been tested. We get a week off, and then I've said it for the last 2 seasons. The games you remember are played in November. Maryland, Rutgers, Michigan. If you do your job, we can be undefeated. We have to because we're too deep now to lose a game. We can't lose one. We have to be focused. Week off, heal up, go play the Terrapins because we got to make them in the turtle suit.
Well, the game you missed there was Penn State. You know,
Penn State,
that could be tricky.
Penn State's always a pain. They could be undefeated, and they could have 2 losses. Penn State's a real pain. I was at Happy Valley last year. I don't think Michigan fans are as mean as Penn State fans are. And, I mean, we ripped their heart out the last 2 years by a point. If we got to do it again, so be it. You're coming in here. It's senior day on that day. I'm not afraid of Penn State. Contain the receiver, smash Clifford in the turf, and you got him. That's all you got to do. Because if Michigan can come back on you, what do you think I'm going to do to you?
All right, final thoughts. Big win.
Huge win. Enjoy it. In the rain, Big Ten weather, old school Big Ten kind of feel. Did our job, and now we're going to enjoy this one and move forward because I'm not going to talk about Big Ten championships or national titles until we get through this regular season. We have a great special group of guys here, and I think we're on to something special. And Ryan Day is, I mean, if he's not coach of the year, regardless of what happens at the end of the season, I don't know who is.
All right, so a special guest here from right out of Major League. You know, how's it going?
It's going fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know, it couldn't be any better. Big win for Ohio State.
Huge win.
Huge win for Ohio State. Tough Wisconsin team, but they look pretty good anyway. What were your thoughts?
I thought the game was fantastic. Coming in from out of town, Indians fan all day long, but bottom line, Ohio State fan. Look fucking fantastic.
Look pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Chase Young. Big game for Chase Young. A couple forced fumbles, a couple sacks.
Yeah.
People are saying he's a defensive player. He shouldn't win the Heisman, but what do you think about that?
No, he should win the Heisman. Why can't a defensive player win the Heisman? Why not?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I can't tell you why.
There you go. There you go.
All right.
So J.K. Dobbins had to pick up the slack a little bit today. Justin Fields, tough time throwing it in the rain. Your thoughts on him?
He looked okay to me. He threw it fine. I was
Okay.
all right with it.
All right, how about Dobbins?
Dobbins looked good.
All right, he looked good. You guys heard it here. What's your name?
My name's Derek.
All right, Derek. So big win for Ohio State against a tough ranked team. Thoughts?
Hey, so coming in, I thought Wisconsin was going to come off the Illinois loss, and they was going to come in with a little attitude. But we quickly shut that out and showed that we was the most dominant team. And as a lot of people in the country are saying, we're the most complete team in the country.
Yep.
We're most complete team in the country.
All right, so Alabama, LSU, they're all looking pretty strong down there in the SEC. But what's your case? Ohio State number 1?
Hey, so listen, it's easy to rank all the teams at the top when the whole SEC is ranked, okay? If we rank the whole Big Ten, then the whole Big Ten is ranked. So we are the most complete team in the country. And one thing about LSU, who's running the helm at that
Yeah,
one?
right. Former Buckeye. That's a Buckeye guy. All right, one final question here. Tough games down the stretch. Penn State, Michigan, Big Ten championship game maybe if they can get there.
No maybe.
No maybe. Thoughts on the rest of the season?
So we need to come out each and every week like we did today no slip-ups. Last couple years, we had the Iowa, we had the Purdue, so we can't afford that this year. So we're gonna, like I said, we're the most complete team in the country, and I think we got it this year, man.
All right, what's your name?
Paul Moss.
All right, Paul. So big win for the Buckeyes. Wisconsin comes in ranked, but the Buckeyes take care of business. Your thoughts?
I thought it was a thorough beat down by our Buckeyes. You got to tip your cap to Wisconsin. They came in trying to rebound from a pretty bad loss last week, but the weather conditions kind of limited us offensively, but I think we did an outstanding job moving the ball in the second half. So, and let's just clear the air right now. Dobbins is a better back than Jonathan Taylor. It's not even close.
Yeah, the Buckeyes certainly held Taylor in check today. Defense looked pretty good. Chase Young, people are saying defensive guy shouldn't win the Heisman, but he looks like the best player in the country, don't you think?
I think he's probably one of the best players in the country, bar any, defense, offense. He's a strip sack artist. I mean, he's really putting his name up there as far as one of the best pass rusher in Ohio State history. He's definitely an All-American, and hopefully we'll see him. We'll put two up there in New York. We'll see him
right.
two. Whether
Absolutely.
it's Dobbins, Chase, or Fields. It'd be a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So a bye week now.
Yeah.
They earned it. Yeah, it's been a rough couple weeks, but they're looking pretty good going in, and Maryland after that, and down the stretch, some tough games. Your thoughts on the rest of the way?
I look for us to handle our business, and just get healthy during this bye week. Fields took a couple shots out there, and he was a little dinged up, so the bye week comes at a good time.
All right, what's your name?
Bruce.
Bruce. So big win for Ohio State today. Wisconsin comes in ranked, but they take care of business anyway. What were your thoughts?
Honestly, it slowed out slow. With the whole weather and all that, and honestly, it slowed out slow. But we picked it up, and after that, we just didn't look back. You look. Chase Young had a huge day. And J.K. Dobbins just rolled with it. Love to see Master T get more involved, but just coming in and just getting that huge win against Wisconsin was huge.
Yeah. So Ohio State looks pretty good right now, but there's a couple other teams: Clemson, Alabama, LSU, Oklahoma lost, but
Oklahoma
the other ones.
Lose. I don't know what happened. Jalen Hurts, what did he do? Not show up?
I don't know. I haven't seen the highlights, but
when I see the highlights, I'd love to see the stats and everything on that, but it's surprisingly see Jalen Hurts not really, show up. That helps us in the rankings and Heisman votes with Fields, Dobbins, Chase Young, and all that. It helps us, obviously.
yeah. So the rest of the way, they got a bye week. Then they got Maryland, Penn State coming up after that. It's going to be a little tricky. What do you think?
We got that team up north. We just got to take one game at a time. I think, honestly, we can't really underestimate Maryland. They're going to come in here fighting. They started out hot, then they kind of they fell down. It's November, anything can happen. And then you got Penn State. They always give us a run for money in here. And we pulled it out last year by 1 point. So you look at that and everything, and then we go up to Ann Arbor. They play Notre Dame. They play Notre Dame tonight, and honestly, I would take Irish in that. I take it over, and I think Irish can handle the business, and we'll see.